Shocking. Alex Eala has just stunned Elena-Gabriela Ruse at the $7.4 million Cincinnati Open, and the crowd absolutely erupted as the Filipina sensation finally secured her sweet revenge. The 21-year-old Filipino star, seeded number 17 in her first ever Cincinnati main draw, has done it again. Nobody expected the story to end this way. Eala delivered a commanding performance against the Romanian who once stood between her and a Grand Slam main draw appearance, while the crowd transformed the Lindner Family Tennis Center into the newest outpost of Barangay Eala. And once again, the Eala effect proved impossible to stop. The moment Alex Eala stepped onto Court 3 at the Lindner Family Tennis Center in Mason, Ohio, she was not simply playing another tennis match. She was hunting a ghost. 2 years earlier, in the qualifying rounds of the 2024 US Open, Elena-Gabriela Ruse had denied Eala something precious, her first appearance in a Grand Slam main draw. The score was 3-6, 6-1, 6-4. Back then, Eala was ranked number 153 in the world, a teenager still learning how to navigate professional tennis. Ruse was ranked number 122, an experienced opponent standing between a young dreamer and the biggest stage in the sport. 2 years later, everything had changed. Eala walked into Cincinnati as the number 17 seed and a career-high world number 20, the first Filipino tennis player in history to win a WTA Tour singles title, and a player who had just stunned the world with a historic fourth-round run at Wimbledon. The teenager who once fought simply to qualify for Grand Slams had become the player nobody wanted to see across the net. And Ruse was not arriving without confidence. She had just demolished Magda Linette 6-0, 6-3 in the first round, sending an unmistakable message that she was not going to roll over for anyone. The Romanian, who reached a career-high ranking of number 51 in 2022 and won the WTA 250 Hamburg European Open in 2021, remained a dangerous opponent with the experience to disrupt Eala's momentum. Eala entered the match determined to exact revenge against the woman who had denied her a place in the 2024 US Open main draw. But this was never simply about advancing to the next round. It was about redemption. It was about proving how far she had come. It was about adding another name to a growing list of former conquerors she had already overcome. Because Eala had shown throughout her breakthrough summer that she could rewrite old results. In Washington, she defeated multiple players who had previously beaten her, including elite opponents such as Zheng Qinwen, Leylah Fernandez, Alina Svitolina, Naomi Osaka, and Jessica Pegula. One by one, the players who once had the answers against her were becoming part of her comeback story. And now Ruse stood next in line. The ghost from New York had followed Eala all the way to Cincinnati, and this time, Alex was ready to write a completely different ending. Now it was Ruse's turn. The 21-year-old Filipina had been waiting 2 years for this moment, and the sea of passionate Filipino fans filling the Lindner Family Tennis Center was ready to witness something special. The Alex Eala who walked onto Court 3 in Cincinnati on August 15, 2026, was almost unrecognizable from the teenager who had faced Elena-Gabriela Ruse 2 years earlier. Back then, Eala was ranked number 153 in the world, still finding her feet on the professional tour and searching for her identity at the highest level. Now she was the number 17 seed at a WTA 1000 event, a career-high world number 20, the first Filipino tennis player in history to win a WTA Tour singles title, and a player who had just stunned the tennis world with a historic fourth-round run at Wimbledon, defeating defending champion Iga Swiatek along the way. She had also produced a remarkable run in Washington, defeating several elite opponents and proving that she could perform under enormous pressure. The transformation was staggering. 2 years earlier, Eala had shown flashes of brilliance, taking the opening set against Ruse 6-3 before eventually losing 3-6, 6-1, 6-4. But the experience exposed areas of her game that still needed development. Now, Eala was a completely different player. Her game had matured, her confidence had grown, and her mentality had become far more resilient. She had learned how to win ugly, how to battle through fatigue, how to absorb pressure, and how to close out matches against world-class opponents. The numbers told part of the story. She had endured an exhausting North American swing, winning 7 consecutive matches during her Washington title run before pushing deep into Toronto. She had defeated Olympic champion Zheng Qinwen, Elena Svitolina, 4-time Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka, and world number 3 Jessica Pegula during her breakthrough stretch. She had survived an ankle scare against Katie McNally in Toronto and still found a way to win. And even after the physical exhaustion caught up with her against Belinda Bencic, Eala emerged with gratitude rather than bitterness. That was the difference. The player Ruse had beaten in 2024 was still learning how to survive moments like these. The player standing across from her in Cincinnati had spent the past 2 years learning how to own them. I think I've really played well in the past few weeks, and I think I'm healthy, which is something I'm super grateful for, Eala said ahead of the Cincinnati Open. I'm counting my blessings, and I'm taking the lessons that I've had from these 2 weeks and hopefully implementing them even more in a better way in Cincinnati and New York. The Filipina had used the short break between Toronto and Cincinnati wisely. She took a day or two completely away from tennis, got a haircut, got her nails done, spent time with friends, and even appeared in a viral TikTok with Coco Gauff. This was not a player simply burning herself out. It was a young star learning how to manage the demands of life on the WTA Tour. Eala knew exactly who was waiting for her. The 0-1 head-to-head record against Ruse served as a reminder of how far she had come. The Romanian had won their 2024 US Open qualifying battle 3-6, 6-1, 6-4, denying Eala a place in the main draw of a Grand Slam. Now, 2 years later, the 21-year-old Filipina had another opportunity to close that chapter and prove that the teenager who once struggled through Grand Slam qualifying had become a player capable of beating anyone in the world. Rennie Stubbs, the former doubles world number 1 and coach of Serena Williams, had already warned the rest of the tour about the phenomenon surrounding Eala. The atmosphere she generates, Stubbs explained, is unlike anything most players have experienced. Katie McNally reportedly even thanked Eala after their match for allowing her to be part of the experience. Stubbs later described how even longtime professionals were recognizing that this was an atmosphere they had rarely encountered, perhaps comparable only to the extraordinary crowds Serena Williams drew in New York. Ruse had no idea what was waiting for her. The Romanian had just demolished Magda Linette 6-0, 6-3 in the first round, earning a spot in the second round and arriving with confidence. But the atmosphere she was about to walk into in Cincinnati was going to be completely different. Thousands of Filipino fans had traveled from across the United States to watch Eala compete. One group had planned an entire college reunion around the trip. Another fan had driven 8 hours from Toronto after watching Eala there. They were ready to transform the Lindner Family Tennis Center into another home arena for Alex, and Ruse was about to discover what it felt like to be the opponent standing across the net. Eala had already proven that she could defeat elite opponents in consecutive matches on American hard courts during August. She had done exactly that in Washington, navigating a gauntlet of established stars and emerging from it as a WTA champion. Now, Cincinnati presented another test, another dangerous opponent, and another chance to prove that the Eala effect was not simply about the crowds. It was about the player giving those crowds something worth believing in. Now she was ready to do it again. A different player, a different tournament, and hopefully a completely different outcome. The Lindner Family Tennis Center in Mason, Ohio, is not just another stop on the WTA calendar. It is a stage where careers are tested, champions are forged, and some of the biggest prize money in women's tennis outside the Grand Slams is on the line. The 2026 Cincinnati Open features a staggering $7.4 million total prize pool, representing a major increase from the previous year. For Alex Eala, who had already earned $252,000 from her historic Washington title and another $89,700 from her run in Toronto, the financial stakes had never been higher. Waiting at the end of the draw is a massive $1,125,220 Champions Prize, along with 1,000 valuable WTA ranking points. The prize money rises dramatically with every round, making every victory in Cincinnati more meaningful than the last. But the money is only one part of the story. Eala also earned a first-round bye as the number 17 seed, the highest seeding of her career at a WTA 1000 tournament. thanks to several withdrawals, she moved into a protected position that gave her something incredibly valuable after an exhausting summer: extra rest before her opening match. Not long ago, Eala was fighting through qualifying draws and relying on opportunities simply to enter major tournaments. Now, she is a seeded player at one of the biggest events on the calendar, a legitimate force who can fill venues with passionate fans and walk straight into the second round while some of the world's best players are still battling through their opening matches. And the stage could hardly be bigger. The 2026 Cincinnati Open has attracted a loaded field featuring the world's elite, including Aryna Sabalenka, Iga Swiatek, Elena Rybakina, Coco Gauff, and Jessica Pegula. This is not a quiet tune-up event where half the stars have decided to rest. This is the final major WTA 1000 test before the US Open, and every player arriving in Mason knows exactly what is at stake. For Eala, however, the financial rewards are only one piece of the equation. The ranking points could be genuinely transformative. A deep run in Cincinnati could push her closer to the top 15 for the first time in her career and strengthen her position heading into the US Open. Her Washington title already delivered 500 ranking points, while a semi-final run in Cincinnati would add another 390, a final would be worth 650, and winning the entire tournament would bring the full 1,000 points. Suddenly, every match carries consequences far beyond the scoreboard. Every victory could reshape her ranking, her seeding, her draw at the US Open, and her position among the game's emerging stars. The numbers are enormous, the opportunity is extraordinary, and the $7.4 million Cincinnati stage is waiting. Located in Mason, Ohio, roughly a 20-minute drive from downtown Cincinnati, the Lindner Family Tennis Center is about to become the latest chapter in the remarkable rise of Alex Eala. The Filipino community in Cincinnati itself may be relatively small, but the support surrounding Alex Eala has proven that geography is no longer the limiting factor. Fans traveled from across Ohio and beyond, with some driving for hours and others organizing entire reunions simply to watch her compete. That is what makes the Eala effect so different. This isn't merely a local crowd showing up for a hometown player. It is a mobile fan base following the athlete from city to city because they have become emotionally invested in her journey. Renee Stubbs has recognized exactly what is